The site collection administrators, and sometimes they'll be referred to as power users, those are the people who are really in charge of the information. Those are the people that are making the decisions about what information is going into their site. Those are the people that are helping the other users to gain access to the site and to really define, in some cases, the look and feel and the navigation. And that's really your day-to-day operational folks, not necessarily back-end, and typically they aren't your administrators, system administrators, or even necessarily in IT. That's a pretty broad base of folks that typically come in for training. So obviously there's a lot of options for people to get up to speed in SharePoint. Of course, I think that anyone who's going to be working with SharePoint and working with it in a significant way really should take training. And this is something that I've seen. I've been teaching SharePoint for 12 years, and I truly could not count the number of times that I've had students that have come in and there have been significant problems in their environment because they didn't take training first. There's a certain assumption about SharePoint that because it's classified under the Office umbrella, that it's something that doesn't require training. People don't necessarily need training to be able to use Word, and there's a little bit of that assumption when it comes to SharePoint, and that's simply not the case. SharePoint is in fact one of the most complex products that Microsoft makes. There are so many things that you can do with SharePoint. There's so many things that people don't even know about SharePoint that if you don't have some kind of training to A, understand what the product does, and B, understand how to make the product work the best, you are most likely going to have what we would consider a failed SharePoint implementation. Again, time and again, I've had students come through and at some point in the class, they've come to me and said, if I had known that when we set up SharePoint, or if I had known that when I inherited SharePoint, our system would be better now. And I've had students that are, on Monday, I have to go back and we are going to reinstall SharePoint now that I understand how to install it properly. And that's a big cost or benefit, depending on which side you look at it, that people don't account for in SharePoint. And that's something that, the benefit of training so outweighs whatever you're paying to send someone to it, that I think it's a missed benefit that people have with SharePoint quite frequently.